All right. You know. So me and Total MK for a while have been predicting, as others, but like, just whatever. Been predicting on once we got a showcase of Mortal Kombat Trilogy being revealed at Evo, what the next showcases would be. And lo and behold, we were right. Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero and Mortal Kombat Special Forces was showcased to us at the very same time. Something that we had both predicted. And the reason why I say that we both predicted it is because, again, we understand that while these games are cool in their own, especially Mythologies is great, right? They're cool, but at the same time, they're not strong enough by themselves to announce individually or even just together, right? You got to have more than that. And lo and behold, they showed us what I was hoping, at least my prediction, was that we got to see some in-game stuff with the menus and things like that. Now, I did say the other day, it does look like some early build stuff. There are some things that, do kind of seem a little off, and, I'm not sure, like, how to process that, right? Except for the fact that I think it's just an early build. But ultimately, this was wonderful. I know some people are sitting there going, but why couldn't we get other games? Blah, blah, blah. Why these ones over something like MK Gold? Well, the fat lady hasn't sung yet, and the bald man hasn't found a cure. So until then, we just wait, right? So I I really think, man, I think this is, I don't think it's over. I don't think it's over yet, right? Um, I know they say things like arcade era. We've already covered that in previous videos. But the arcade era, like, they included stuff in the arcade era outside of that. Let's check out some Special Forces gameplay while we're talking. So this is just like, this is just in demo mode, so you guys get to see what it looks like. Obviously it's very janky. It's not the greatest of adventure games, like, ever, right? But it exists, you know. And one of the things that I'd love to see in this particular collection, actually coming back, because I want to show you this, right? And I will do a separate video on it, because I think it warrants the importance of it. But there's a demo that was unreleased, right? But obviously somebody got hold of it, right? And you can actually play this particular demo, and it allows you to choose between Sonya and Jax for Special Forces. Let's check this out. Ah, the good old Midway. Good old Midway. All right. So this is the original logo. This is what it looked like, right? When you press start, it actually allows you to choose between these two characters. This is wild, bro. Like, this is exactly what, like, I'm so because we've got WaveNet in there as this just this lost in time piece of media. Well, this absolutely 100% qualifies as content that could be added in there. This looks so different in terms of, like, like presentation and everything like that, right? And I believe this was the version that I think John Tobias was on. Maybe, like, I can't remember when he left, but maybe we got the other version, almost like a bastardized version, kind of like what they did with the Justice League movies. But this would be incredible to put in there. I can't imagine why they wouldn't do it, like, at all, considering, because of what they've done with WaveNet. But either way, I think this is pretty awesome, to be perfectly honest. Like, this is just so much better. Now, while it's only a demo, that doesn't matter though, unless, like, somebody's worked on it and they've made a full game, or I don't know. I don't even know if that's possible. But having this in there as just something to have, like, imagine, like, you finish Special Forces, then you unlock this E3 demo, which allows you to play it. I think that'd be pretty cool. Or prototype, if you will. having the choice between choosing between Jax and Sonya makes a lot of sense when you have a special forces game that's focused on this particular type of, you know, or this particular type of like sub story or story plot within the Mortal Kombat universe, right? And having this in the collection would be phenomenal, right? But yeah, going back to what I was saying originally is that yeah, we were right, because it makes sense as MK fans, obviously Digital Eclipse MK fans. This is stuff that, you know, you just get a feel for. It's not like a cocky one, right? But might say it, you know, as a joke, but sincerely, that I'm glad that it turned out this way. With the grand hope, hopefully, that we'll get Mortal Kombat Gold announced at some point in the future, whether it be at PAX, maybe content for DLC, I don't know. Because the thing is, though, that like Power Stone 1 and 2, you know, actually, I think they were the arcade games. I don't know if that qualifies, but I was going to say because they were on the Dreamcast, but I don't think they emulated the Dreamcast for the Capcom Fighting Collection 2 for those ones. That was simply just the arcade, from memory. I don't think it's a problem to emulate Dreamcast. So many different platforms, including like really weak things, have been doing it for a long time. I don't see it as an issue. I certainly would consider the PlayStation 1 had been for a long time very hard to emulate, all the way starting back with Bleem. And now, of course, like the prominent one is now DuckStation. But I don't think there's going to be an issue. Personally, as I have tons of coding experience, yeah, right, to do it, because it's been done many times over before on multiple platforms, right? So Gold showing up would be the pinnacle end game for this collection. It would be perfect. Anything outside of that they might bring out as DLC would just be wonderful. But there is a massive outcry. You know, there's a massive outcry for Gold being in the collection, and understandably, 100%, because you know this game has just been, you know, it's been stuck on Dreamcast jail forever. So. And of course, this prototype for Special Forces, I think, would qualify as something additional. If they can put WaveNet in there, then they could do this, right? And I don't know if they're going to release WaveNet for MK4 version. Right now, it's just Ultimate MK3. But currently, I would definitely go with, you know, adding something like this prototype in there, because obviously it was developed by Midway. You know, Midway's now NetherRealm. NetherRealm's owned by Warner Brothers. I mean, all the licensing's there. Everything's fine. I don't see it an issue whatsoever to include something like this in the collection, to just, again, just give people some stuff that, like, just really, I don't know, like, that's not, like, I don't have the audio on for this right now, but watching this is just incredible, right? Because it looks fully fleshed out. Like, it looks so much better than the slop that we got in the other release, you know. So again, look at his dumbass feet, big ass, you know, rectangles, and some triangles. So I would definitely love to see this in there. But yeah, I'm very happy that they announced those two games. Trilogy was a surprise. Nobody anticipated that they would start with Trilogy, but they did, which was great. And then I thought, okay, yep, me and Total talked about, we're like, yep, they're going to announce, you know, these ones, you know, and probably possibly show some in-game stuff, was like in the menus and stuff to wet the whistle. And then, of course, you know, we're all waiting on what the possible final release might be. Now, they have claimed that this is the final lineup. But again, you know, if you say that, they go, yeah, this is the final lineup with your fingers crossed, nobody's going to care if they go, oh, but you lied. That's a good lie, right? Because look at the conversation right now. What's everyone talking about? I saw MK Gold trending on X the other day. That was insane. That's how much a love people want for it. And because nobody has come out and outright said, no, it's not going to be in there, then I would argue that it's still on the table, right? But having Mythologiessubzero in there is fantastic. It is truly a gem of a game, right? It really is. Just going to run around Sonya for a little bit if I can. I think I've got a block button. Where's my block button? Do I have a block button? There we go. Right. Prison door locked. Okay, all right, fair enough. Oh, there we go. There's the key. Nice. By the way, this also handles really well. This is the funny part. This is actually the funny part. It actually handles really well, right? Still a little. Oh, sorry, my bad. I was pressing block. And so yeah, Mythology Sub-Zero is really great. The music is incredible. Absolutely love that game. I know some people are going to get really annoyed and frustrated with it, but it is a piece of MK history, and it definitely needs to, sort of, well, and it is. But before that, I was advocating that it definitely needs to be in there because of the way it works and how it ties in, with the story and stuff like that. Because it was the very first. It was the very first Mortal Kombat adventure game. I know Shaolin Monks always takes the prize position, but Mythology Sub-Zero, that was the one. That was the one. But anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. Let me know what you think. Could Gold still be coming out? Are you guys happy with Mythology Sub-Zero Special Forces? Let me know. I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.